That hymn always reminds me of God's call upon each of our lives, for truly God calls each of us to ministries, different kinds of ministries. And this morning we are very privileged to hear the story of a ministry that one of our young adults has been called to. Kaley Elliott is here to share with you a story about God's call on her life through what's called the Nicaragua Project. And in the bulletin, you can read a little bit about the place and the project in Catarina, Nicaragua, where Kaley has been and will be going. And you will be inspired by her story. And we also want to let you know that if you would like to help her, there's a couple things you can do. One is that her blog is now posted on our website, right, today. And so as she spends her time in Nicaragua, you can follow her activities. She's going to be writing in and letting everyone know what she's doing. And if you would like to help contribute to her expenses over the next 8 months, you can see Kaley after the worship service, and she'll share with you how you could help to do that. So without further ado, let me introduce to you one of our church members, Kaley Elliott, with a wonderful, wonderful story of God's mission call on her life. Kaley.
In mid-January, I bought a plane ticket not knowing that it would change my life. I became involved in the Nicaragua Project one normal Sunday afternoon at church when members of the project came and gave a special presentation. They came and talked about the project, explained what it was and the goals it has. At the end of the presentation, I was very interested, especially after hearing Kate Summers, daughter of Joe Summers, pastor of ECI in Ann Arbor, talk about her experience in Nicaragua 4 years ago when she was only 9 years old. She explained how the trip changed how she looked at life, how she treated people, and how she was excited to be given the opportunity to return with the next delegation going in just 1 month. As the group began leaving, they mentioned that they still had room on the upcoming trip, and if there was anyone interested, they should let them know. Minutes later, my name was the first on the list. Only a month later, I was on a plane to Nicaragua with a group of 8 people that I had only met a handful of times previous to the trip. I instantly bonded with the 2 other teenagers on the trip, Kate Summers, who was 13, and Emma Harmon, who was 15. The 2 girls already knew each other since they attended the same church, but we quickly learned that the 3 of us had a lot in common. As I talked with Emma on the plane, she also told me that she too just recently decided to go on the trip. We both knew that the main point of the Nicaragua Project was to construct a hotel in the small town of Catarina, where we would be staying. The team wanted to do something that would give people in the poor community a place to work, something that would support the local craft makers, draw in tourists, and give the economy in Catarina something that would keep helping, not just for a limited amount of time. We knew that while in Nicaragua, we would be looking at the land that was purchased by the church for the building of the hotel that would start sometime next year. Other than that, Emma and I did not know what else we would be doing, and most of all, had no idea what to expect. At about 9:30 p.m., we landed in Nicaragua, and the adventures began. Bayardo Lopez, pastor of Iglesia Baptista Remanente, and the rest of his family, our translator Yenny, and a few other local people of Catarina involved in the project greeted us. When the group of the people saw us, the light from their faces could have been seen in China, and their arms were open so wide they could hold all the children in the world. This is when it first hit me that a small group from Ann Arbor was doing something that was making a difference in these people's lives. After about a 45-minute drive to Catarina, we arrived at Hotel Yaris, the local family-owned hotel that cost only $10 a night. We were greeted by even more smiling faces and a huge meal that the family of the hotel had been preparing all day. Since it was getting late, we decided to say our goodnights and head to our rooms. Kate and I shared a room with the older girl who lived in the hotel. Her name is Jacqueline, and she turned 20 while we were there. We had a bathroom in our room, while a sink with no running water, a flush-it-yourself toilet, and a large bucket with a cup inside for a shower. I quickly learned the value of water and how much the U.S. people take for granted what we have. The night and every night following it was very different from those in Ypsilanti. It does not get quiet. Music, people talking, dogs barking, and the wind blowing the tin roofs is all you hear. At about 5 o'clock in the morning, the noise just gets even louder, as the day begins for many people trying to make a living and support their families. Our first day there, we saw the Mirador. It's a crater lake surrounded by towns and an active volcano. It was one of the most amazing views I've ever seen. After that, we saw the land that the hotel will be built on. Right on the land, there was a house that was made out of sheets of tin that was hardly standing up straight. I cannot believe that someone could live like that. Joe told me that after Haiti, Nicaragua was the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Later in the week, we traveled to Managua, Nicaragua's capital, and saw houses made out of scraps of garbage and clothes. I could not help but feel like a greedy person who has way more than I deserve. People in Nicaragua work all day and every day and do not make even half of what I make in one night of babysitting for only a few hours. This really made me think of all the things I have and how I do not need even half of them. The people there need things. Other Americans and myself want things. It then became clear to me the difference between need and want and poor and rich. Our delegation supports the Catarinas girls soccer team, who is very good and won a large amount of awards and honors at various games and competitions. For only $80, we bought the entire team new uniforms and equipment. This year, I paid $90 for my swim team jacket, shorts, and swimsuit. Once again, I thought to myself, what if I reuse my team things from last year and buy these girls the things they really need? Our second night there, we met at the church with the soccer team and coaches to present the gifts that we bought for them. We gave them new practice shirts, balls, shoes, and a donation of money to get the other things they need. We then went around the room and heard all the girls say something. Each girl spoke for quite a while, but basically said, "We do not even know where to begin to say thank you. You have no idea how much this helps us and gives us the opportunity to succeed and allows us to get more girls off the streets and doing something with their lives, giving us a reason to live. God bless all of you." When we were all done talking, I went up to one of the girls and asked her where the bathroom was. She instantly put her arm around me and took me. After Emma, Kate, and myself used the bathroom and talked with the girls for a few more minutes, we were attached. They loved us and we loved them. My new friend Louisa took me by the arm and we walked to the park to watch a boys' soccer team that was going on. The whole time she continued thanking me for the gifts and asking me all kinds of questions about my life, and I asked her all about hers. A little before it was time to leave, she said, "Regalo," which means gift in Spanish, and I said, "Yeah, I gave you gifts." And Louisa said, No. I was confused by what she was saying, and before I knew it, she said, "Wait here, I'll be right back." When she returned, she put a medal she had won from a soccer game around my neck and said, "Thank you so much for everything you do for me, and this is what I have for you." For me, I gave her so little for what I had, and she gave me half of what she had. What she did meant so much to me. I would give almost anything to have my friends experience what I experienced that night. I wish their lives could be changed the way mine did.